I want you to ask yourself, what are the great evils in this world? Is it war, famine, disease, or possibly even
Viewbotting.
For those of you who aren't involved in the wonderful world of streaming,
Muzzle?
or just someone who's well-adjusted, you're probably not too familiar with the idea of viewbotting. But for the rest of us, we are all too familiar with it. Viewbotting is essentially the act of paying a third party to artificially inflate your view count in order to push yourself up in the algorithm. People use this for YouTube, Twitch, Kick, TikTok, Rumble, Vimeo. If Vimeo's still a thing. Is Vimeo still a thing? Vimeo's still a thing. There's also embedding, which is controversial, but I personally still consider it viewbotting. A lot of times people just make themselves very, very small on somebody's website or barely make themselves visible at all just so they can rack up those extra views. That way, viewers are watching you, but they're not really watching you, dude. But you gotta get those views, you know, because bigger number, better person. At least that's how most video sites will rank you. Now, viewbotting isn't new, and neither is paying for fake impressions. People used to do it all the time back in the day to other people's social media because they would give you like 1 million followers and then only 100 people would be liking your posts, which meant that your engagement rate would be horrible and Instagram or whatever you were using wouldn't promote your posts as much. There are even stories of hit artists who create or pay for phone farms in order to boost their song to the #1 spot on Spotify. However, in the past few months, there seemed to be a huge uptick in the usage. It's slowly becoming the new norm, I think. In fact, many large streamers have been accused of viewbotting, such as Neon, Hasan, and more recently, Jack Doherty. People are specifically speculating about Jack Doherty because they've noticed that like a bunch of people will follow all at once, and then all of those people who had just followed start spamming the same message, like W or Shat. Chat is kind of funny, I'm not gonna lie. I like to imagine he gets to decide what the bots say for the first time when they enter his chat, and he's just sitting there and he's like, what do people say when they enter my chat for the first time? Oh, got it. Biggest turd. But in all seriousness, it seems like people don't really think they need to grind or apply themselves or create engaging content because, well, why do that when I can just open up a new credit card, baby? And platforms like Twitch and Kick don't really recommend channels based on their engagement. It's more just based, it's actually solely based, pretty much. It's solely based on how many viewers you have at any given time. Twitch will literally only rank either recommendations for you, which I don't know how they build the recommendations. I think it's just based off of streamers that you watch, and then if other people who watch those streamers watch other streamers, it's like a whole like Charlotte's Web effect. But then the only other way that they rank streamers is by highest to lowest view count. And the idea itself is fairly simple. When you push yourself up in that algorithm, you're more likely to be seen by real viewers, which means you're more likely to have real viewers coming in and joining your community, except you're not really building a community. To be honest, most of these streamers are building their house on the sand. They're gonna find it really difficult to build a strong community this way. Like imagine you buy tickets for a concert and then immediately they sell out, and then you show up to the concert and it's just you and like 25 other people. And then in the stands, there's like crash test dummies and cardboard cutouts and stuff. Like I feel like most of the time people are gonna be like, what the fuck is going on here? And streamers aren't happy about this either. Even the large streamers aren't happy about this. In fact, Trainwreckstv recently said he believes 99% of people on the platforms are viewbotting.
I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Like me and like maybe 5 others might be the only ones in the entire fucking industry not botting. Maybe in like the top one, yeah, in the top 100, I would say it's gotta be like, I would say of the new wave, the new generation, I would say 99% are bullshitting.
And while I understand he's being hyperbolic, he does have some truth in saying that they only have the illusion of being big. They have no actual pull on the platform. It's more of an issue of pushing down smaller streamers in the algorithm. However, when these viewbotters are surrounded by the larger, well-known streamers such as Trainwreckstv himself, Asmongold, Moist Critical, Aiden Ross, XQC, it legitimizes them. Because at the end of the day, if XQC's viewers are real, then why wouldn't the viewers in Big Skibbity 420's chat also be real? Obviously, I'll say again, I don't believe 99% of people are viewbotting. I mean, there's so many one viewer Andys out there, but I agree, it's skyrocketing. It's surging. It seems like every day I look in the just chatting category and there's always one dude at least who's streaming to like 8,000 people and there's only 3 people talking in the chat. Asmongold has even made a few videos exposing a lot of viewbotters, especially on Twitch.
42 viewers, all the way up to 1.7K. This is the come up of the century. Finally, we made it. Not at all suspicious.
And while you may not have the same tools to tell if somebody is viewbotting, there's a few good ways to tell if someone is doing it. We just can't prove with 100% certainty that someone is viewbotting unless they admit it or we find the receipts. And I mean like actual transactional receipts, not Twitter comments. However, there are a few obvious signs, like I said, a sudden jump in viewers either during a stream or in between streams. So a lot of times you'll see that someone is doing a stream to like 10, 20 people, whatever it may be, and then within the next 2 to 5 minutes they skyrocket up to like 600 people they're all of a sudden streaming to. Like that doesn't make any sense. A slow moving chat is another good example. Obviously some people are going to have slower chats than others. The smaller your community, the slower the chat. However, there's other reasons why a chat could be moving slow, such as if a just chatting streamer who's normally very engaging with their audience is playing a video game and not really concentrating on chat that much, you'll see that the chat starts to slow down.
Cool, man.
But usually, you know, you can tell if someone's streaming to like 30K viewers and it's the same 6 people talking over and over and over again, and the chat is just moving super like. Finally, low interactivity across other platforms. So you may notice that someone has like thousands of viewers at a time on Twitch or Kick or YouTube or wherever they're live streaming, right? But then you go to their Twitter and they have like 600 followers and maybe 2 likes on a post, right? It just doesn't add up. If someone is building a community strong enough that they have thousands of viewers at a time, why wouldn't that bleed into their other socials like their Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, etc.? Now hold on. The last time we talked about viewbotting, we talked about a special little goober named VPN Ninja, who happens to fit all of these boxes. Before his Twitch ban, he would have a large number of people in his streams, but no active chatters. He also has over 1,200 followers on Kick. However, his latest broadcast had 18 views. And when we look at his streams back before he got banned on Twitch, you can see he's getting an average of about 1,000 or so people in his chat, but absolutely no followers. A closer look shows the viewership stayed consistent the entire time as well, which is very not normal. Views fluctuate during a stream, especially if you do a longer stream, right? So if you have an average of like 1,000 people, you'll see it kind of go up and down and dip between 900 and 1,100 people. It doesn't stay at 1,000 or between 990 and 1010 the entire time you're streaming. Side note also on this guy, while I was doing some more research for this video, I found out he's still getting shit on Twitter for viewbotting, but also allegedly faking being in a gaming org for veterans. And because of that lie specifically, people are also accusing him of stolen valor, which is a big no-no if you didn't know that. However, what I can call him out for is saying a bunch of racist stuff to another streamer during one of his streams. If you want to watch real quick.
Hey man, you have a mixed girlfriend. I don't want to go to the dark side of it, but you might have some kind of sinister stuff going on there. God knows what you do behind closed doors with your mixed girlfriend, right? Mr. Master? You the master of the house? You got going on? You got a little plantation going on at your fucking house?
You know, and that's just the perfect example of a guy who viewbots constantly. However, there are larger examples of viewbotters such as Neon, Jack Doherty, Roshtin? I don't know how to pronounce his name. I'm sorry. But despite all this, we still ask the question, is viewbotting really that bad? Do people really even care? Is it going to start or end any wars? No, definitely not. At most, it's just an annoying hurdle that viewers and other authentic streamers have to get over. Now, Twitch has tried and made efforts to reduce viewbotting. Kick has stated that they will be cracking down on viewbotting, in addition to cracking down on what you will be able to say and do during your Kick stream. Like I said before, it can slow the progression of other authentic streamers because it does push them down further in the algorithm, because these viewbotters are essentially cutting the line. You know, they're getting ahead of everyone else very quickly by botting their streams, which is detrimental to the hard work of authentic streamers and also their mindsets. What I think it boils down to is a lot of people are seeing other streamers viewbotting and getting some small success off of it, and they're going, oh wait, no, hold on, wait for me. So they also bought their stream so that they can cut the line, and eventually it's going to domino that the average stream no longer has like 2 or 3 people in it. It's going to be like 200 to 300 people, because that's what you can afford to viewbot with. So finally, let's talk about some of the biggest issues with viewbotting. Aside from pushing down smaller, authentic streamers in the algorithm, we're going to talk about things that more impact the platform and the people who are on it. So first, ruining the credibility of the streamer or the category. If a category like just chatting is well known for having a ton of viewbotters in it, personally, I think that people are going to avoid viewing in that category, or at least taking streamers as seriously in that category. Like, your behavior bleeds into other communities as well. We saw that with Kick, especially. The degeneracy that occurred on Kick was started by a smaller group and then has bled into, that is everybody's content now. Also, you're ruining your own credibility as well. If you're a larger streamer, this impacts you more obviously than if you were a smaller streamer. For instance, people know that Neon is viewbotting. There's not really a lot of Neon fans out there. There's people who watch Neon, but they're mainly watching him because they're trying to watch the clown. They want to be able to throw tomatoes at somebody on the internet, and Neon is the perfect clout-chasing goblin to do so. Secondly, there's ruining the credibility of the platform. This affects everybody on the platform as a whole, including Twitch or Kick or YouTube or wherever. If it becomes normal, right? If it becomes the meta for people to viewbot on their streams, and that is what streamers believe they need to consistently do to make it in the space, you're going to see less streamers. If you see less streamers, you're going to see less interactivity, you're going to see less advertisers, you're going to see a lot less sponsors, and eventually the platform will just die. It'll just wither away because nobody's really going to be using it, except to basically defraud advertisers and sponsors and rack up that ad revenue. Which brings us into the third point, which is defrauding advertisers and sponsors. And this is a huge deal to platforms like Twitch, where advertisers help keep the lights on. And one of the ways these professional viewbotters, we'll call them, defraud these advertisers is because they create a bunch of different accounts, viewbot those accounts until they get to affiliate, which is incredibly easy to do. You just need 50 followers and 3 average viewers for, I think it's like 14 days or something of streaming. And then they farm the ad revenue by consistently streaming and viewbotting. So basically the bots are just paying for themselves to make a few pennies, but you know, hundreds of those accounts will generate some decent revenue over time. So if advertisers catch wind that there's a bunch of fraud going on the website, it makes them hesitant to want to advertise on that platform, which means they're less likely to give Twitch or Kick or whoever money, which means less revenue for the site. If you're defrauding a sponsor, which is a lot harder because you need to be actually a present streamer, not just a bot account that's streaming The Simpsons 24/7. That makes them extremely hesitant to work with other streamers in the future, or they're way more selective, which means less streamers are getting work from those sponsors. So not only do viewbotters have the potential to slow the progression of someone's career, but they also have the potential to reduce the amount of revenue that they could earn in the future. I also want to make it very clear, I don't stand by the, oh, there's all these viewbotters and that's why I don't have any viewers and nobody wants to watch my content. Like, I believe that if you create good, engaging content, you stay consistent, advertise yourself just a little bit, you're going to build a community. We have a wonderful community over on twitch.tv/Medusa if you ever want to stop by. I stream Monday, Thursday, Saturday, and sometimes I throw in an extra stream when I'm feeling just a little saucy. But with that being said, I'm also just not a fan of viewbotting, if I haven't made that extremely clear yet. I see it as kind of like a desperate attempt to gain some sort of notoriety online. It just is really unappealing to me when I go in there and I see somebody is very clearly viewbotting, and I'm just like, I just don't feel like interacting with you. I feel like you have the personality of like mayo on white bread. It's not, I don't like it, you know? That might just be me, but guys, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Do you see viewbotting as a legitimate strategy to grow yourself on these platforms? Are you turned away when you see a streamer or YouTuber or TikToker or whoever viewbotting? Or is this just all blown out of proportion and you don't think that viewbotting even really matters, dude? Anyway, let me know down there below. Remember to like and subscribe, dudes, if you like the video. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for watching. And check me out on Twitch, twitch.tv/Medusa. And yeah, until next time, I hope to see you. Okay, bye.
I believe I could sing the song My Way better than what's his name? Frank Ocean.